Good day to everyone. My name is Michelazzo and I am a student of Università degli Studi di Milano Bicocca in Italy. And actually I am an exchange student at the Russian International Academy for Tourism. Now I'm going to explain briefly the article that I wrote for this conference called Destination Development in the Cultural and Educational Environment in Russia and Italy, a comparative analysis. My article aims to study the destination development in Russia and Italy. I based my research on the description analysis of facts highlighted in the literature existing about Italy and Russia. After a brief introduction, the article compares the two countries as a tourist destination. Then it compares the different destination development. After that, it shows the differences in the educational system. And at the end, it sums up the most interesting conclusion deriving from this comparison. Nowadays, it's very important to understand how a destination developed in order to better understand its positioning in the tourism market. For this reason, it is important to make clear what we mean when we talk about tourist destination. It can be defined as an amalgam of individual products and experience opportunities that combine to form a total experience of the area visited. That means that the word tourist destination does not refer only to hotels and tourist agency. The concept is much bigger. It includes everything that has to do with a journey. For this reason, a tourist destination to be successful should offer the best touristic experience to visitor, and to do it, it needs to be organized and well integrated. Regarding the two countries as tourist destination, there are some important aspects to underline. First of all, that Russia is the biggest country in the world, and since the fall of the Soviet system, it is in a transition to market process in all economic sectors. That means also in the touristic ones. For this reason, Russia is gradually more focusing on tourism as a way to grow and develop, thanks to the big tourist development potential. But the growth of this sector is very low. It is due to two important aspects. First of all, that unfortunately, internationally, only few destinations are well known. For example, Moscow or St. Petersburg. Then there is another big problem, the lack of homogeneous statistics data. And for this reason, Russian tourism sector is dramatically understudied. On the contrary, Italy is not a transition economy as Russia. In Italy, the tourism sector is well developed, but the challenge is to maintain such an international positioning. Italy is rich of beautiful tourism attractions, but it is not enough to maintain a top ranking as tourist destination. It needs other necessary elements such as a good infrastructure system and a good strategic plan. In addition, Italy needs to improve its competitiveness in order to better compete with other important tourist destinations. Studying the development of these two destinations, we notice first that they had a different history. Even if Italy has a bigger tourism tradition as Russia, for both countries the organized tourism activity began in 18th century. Russia's tourism lived some difficulties during the Bolshevik Revolution in 1917, during the First World War, and after 2013, due to the economic crisis and the problems with neighboring countries such as Ukraine. An important phase for Russian tourism was after the fall of the Soviet system, when Russia started the transition to market economy. Nowadays, Russia is still suffering a lot of issues affecting the tourism development, such as the political instability, the visa policies, and the tourism regulation. But the development of tourism in Russia is very important because it can be a way to diversify the economy that actually depends almost solely on the oil and gas industry. On the other hand, in Italy, there was not such difficult period as in Russia. The tourism sector developed gradually, going from elite tourism to mass tourism, which developed only after the Second World War. An important date for tourism in Italy is 1919, when the National Tourism Agency was formed. It is important because it introduced touristic schools and the collection of statistical data that we said it's a problem in Russia. Up to 80s, Italy was the top international tourism destination, but nowadays it is losing competitiveness due to the several problems, not only due to mismanagement, but also to high seasonality and over tourism in some destinations of Italy. In conclusion, Italy has to focus on developing tourism in a sustainability way and on leaving its traditional fragmented structure in order to create a unique tourism system. Talking about the educational system in the tourism sector is very important because it permits the best growth and development of a country to a tourist destination. The quality of its workforce is very important because unqualified workers lead to general inefficiency. It is important also to underline that specific skills are closely linked to the culture of the country where the touristic firm operate. The educational system in Russia is characterized by a lack of qualified workforce, and it brings to the difficult to find workers able to provide services that meet tourist expectations. The main issues facing the educational system in Russia are connected to environmental aspects, touristic specific knowledge, internet-related skills, and the service orientation. In Italy, the tourism educational system is organized between secondary education and university education. Both levels of education suffers from some issues. The main problems are about, for example, the heterogeneity of content treated, and for example, that the universities are not able to improve the competitiveness of Italian tourism industry. And in the recent years, one problem was also about the decreasing trend of students enrolled and graduated in tourist courses. And in addition to all these problems, the model on that university is organized does not represent the reality in which Italy is living. In conclusion, my article was aimed to compare Russia and Italy about their tourism development with the purpose to underline which challenges they are dealing with. The study offered a good overview on three main aspects: the countries as tourist destination development, and the educational system. Regarding the first point, an important difference was underlined between the two countries. They are living in two different phases of tourism evolution. For this reason, they are dealing with different issues and they have to focus on different challenges. Talking about the second point, the paper emphasized how historical events and political instability can influence the tourism evolution. As we said, Italy was relatively hurt from these historical events and political instability, but it is challenging with the high seasonality and over tourism. About the educational system, the article emphasized how both countries have to work hard on the educational system. Even if in Italy touristic schools were founded long before Russia, the educational system still has many issues to improve. In conclusion, both countries have to focus on the tourism sector in order to improve their destination competitiveness, even if each country has different issues to improve. I hope you like this article. Thanks for your attention.